This guy says he loves capitalism because of a $400 65-inch TV. It's only so affordable because it was made in socialist China. TCL is only partially state-owned. They reduced their state ownership hugely in 2000 while China was still extremely poor to bring in all the rich investors who could build their company to what it is today.
It's wild what passes for socialism and communism these days. Socialism with Chinese characteristics is when the Communist Party of China relinquishes most of its control and allows foreign capitalists to invest in a company that earns profits by producing a higher quality product at a cheaper cost than its competitors. This reminds me of Deirdre McCloskey's sarcastic remark that the Chinese insist on calling what they do when they buy low and sell high communism. Also, you can get a 65-inch Samsung for $329 at Best Buy.
By 2013, TCL Electronics received over $2 billion in government subsidies.
There is nothing uniquely Chinese about the government subsidizing promising businesses. U.S. companies like Boeing and Ford receive various forms of government support, and the Cato Institute estimates that the United States spends about $180 billion a year on what they call corporate welfare. The Japanese had a strong industrial policy favoring high-tech manufacturing, and it was believed that their investments would make the Japanese better suited to produce semiconductors. Norbert Mitchell writes that despite Japan's industrial policies, as of February 2024, 7 U.S. companies were among the 10 largest semiconductor makers. None are Japanese. Industrial policy doesn't seem to be a necessary or sufficient condition for economic growth. Mitchell notes that the so-called Asian tiger economies of Hong Kong, Singapore, South Korea, and Taiwan had negligible industrial policies and few trade restrictions after World War II, but still achieved massive economic growth.
The Chinese government made sure it would become a very successful company. That's socialism with Chinese characteristics.
Governments can't ensure that a company succeeds. We praise TCL for their success and then ignore all the failed projects subsidized by the Chinese government. Perry Nocton notes that China, or any other government that has strong industrial policies, are taking a financial risk that may not pay off. He writes that policymakers do not have a clearer vision of the future than individual entrepreneurs, and the ultimate impact of their policy interventions is often very different from what they intended. Government officials, who are often much more generous with other people's money than an entrepreneur would be with his or her own, risk subsidizing second-best technologies that become obsolete and leave the country behind.